break for quite a while so I could focus on myself. Wasn't ready to admit that I knew I needed help. Yeah, I always faked a smile, it would make the ladies melt. Here I sit and reminisce on the good times and I dwell as the past days somewhere in the distance far behind me. The truth always tasted somewhat bitter and it's blinding. Alright guys, we're back. More Black Thought. This is probably one of my top albums of the year so far. Already, and we're barely on track 5. We're back with Protocol. So, let's see where this one goes. 3, 2, 1, play.
Yo, I'm from another planet, though currently I'm stranded here where I see people.
First bar. He has such a way of coming in with the craziest first bars. He's like, yo, I'm from another planet.
Though currently I'm stranded here where I see people clearly taking every day for granted.
Woo! So he's from another planet, but he's currently stranded here on Earth, where he's seeing people take everything for granted.
Stranded here where I see people clearly taking every day for granted. Where every time I lift my ship up off the ground, it's landed to my disadvantage. Though maybe I am but a gambit in hell too.
Every time he lifts his ship off the ground, so still playing off of that alien wordplay, that UFO metaphor. Every time he lifts his ship off the ground, he lands it to his disadvantage. So he's literally stranded here. He can't return back to wherever he's from. He's stuck here on Earth. And I suppose his only outlet or way to express his alien self is through this hip-hop.
It's landed to my disadvantage. Though maybe I am but a gambit in hell to another standard. If I'm completely candid.
So because he's an alien, he's held to another standard. Yeah, I suppose he's saying because of what he's really saying is because of the quality that he's established himself to be capable of bringing. All of us, we hold him to another standard. You know, we don't expect anything less from him. So he's saying his consumers, his fans, we're the ones literally treating him like an alien, because when we hear Black Thought, you know, we already have a preconceived notion of what we expect from him. You know, so he is quite literally held to another standard, and it's an advanced standard, and that's clear just from the music he puts out. And that's also his way of saying he's hard on himself because he feels pressure to the audience.
If I'm completely candid, I fell in love with the language like a hopeless romantic. I display the dynamic.
I love that. I feel like that's every rapper. Sorry. He fell in love with the language like a hopeless romantic. That's poetry, man. That's poets. That's all poets summed up.
Candid, I fell in love with the language like a hopeless romantic. I display the dynamics at play and pray it's organic. This has been my reality. Maybe I'm schizophrenic. Maybe I'm just a candidate.
This has been his reality. Maybe he's schizophrenic. So even if he is crazy, that's just his reality. So maybe he is schizophrenic. So this whole metaphor about being an alien and being stranded here and feeling like he's being held to another standard, that might sound like he's crazy to us, but really that's just his reality.
My reality, maybe I'm schizophrenic. Maybe I'm just a candidate having this chip implanted. Maybe this is a fantasy. Maybe I'm,
or maybe he's just a candidate having his chip implanted. So, you know, maybe he's just another faceless, nameless number who's just having a computer chip implanted into their brains. And I love this whole way he's approaching this verse. He's opening each one with a maybe I'm this, maybe I'm that, maybe I'm that. We don't know what he is because he keeps giving us all these alternate options. He's trying to define himself and express who he is without limiting who he is to that explanation. So instead of giving us one definition of who he is, he's giving us several possibilities.
Candidate having this chip implanted. Maybe this is a fantasy. Maybe I'm disenchanted. What if they...
Whoo, I love that bar. Maybe this is a fantasy, right? Maybe he's just disenchanted. So yeah, maybe life is freaking a fantasy and just wonderful and amazing. But maybe he's so sick and just sick of whatever and his problems and all this. Maybe he's just disenchanted to life, you know? Even if it is a fantasy, he's not discrediting that it is. But to him, he's disenchanted from that, you know? He's detached because he suffered.
Chip implanted. Maybe this is a fantasy. Maybe I'm disenchanted. What if they just abandoned me? Maybe it's how they planned it. Crazy, there's still a scar on my shoulder where I was branded.
Maybe there's still a scar on his shoulder from where he was branded. Talking about slavery, man. Talking about his ancestors. Talking about other horrible human beings. Literally branding people for their skin color and enslaving them and forcing them to work, you know? And treating them like less, you know, and abusing them physically and mentally. Torturing these people, man. And maybe he's just branded. And if you think about it, a brand is something that sticks, you know. When you get branded with the iron, with the heat, it's permanent, it's a stain. So even if he's not physically branded on his shoulder, what he's saying is that he is marked and he is stained with what has happened to his ancestors. It sticks over his shoulder. That's the demon sitting on his shoulder.
Crazy, there's still a scar on my shoulder where I was branded. The protocol is overhauled. I am not a know-it-all, but...
There's the song title, and he's not a know-it-all. He's just I suppose, just someone going through life, you know? Acquiring wisdom and sharing with us what he finds.
They planned it. Crazy, there's still a scar on my shoulder where I was branded. The protocol is overhauled. I am not a know-it-all, but I need more than motor oil. Signage on a broken door said sayonara, au revoir. I'm already spoken for.
Sayonara, Art of War, he's already spoken for. So yeah, that Art of War, that book, you know, the actual Art of War, that's already spoken for him. That said everything he needs to say. And you know, this to him, this is his way of fighting his war and fighting the war of his people. And it's through the art. And that's why this is the art of war to him. So, you know, sayonara. By making his art, he's fighting his war.
I'm already spoken for. Focusing on finally doing something on my own accord.
These dreams know me, and he's out forever be my soul. You could.
Son Little, again. This time it's a male singer, but incredible voice, man. Incredible voice.
He's out forever be my soul. You could not keep. You probably don't know how to read. These books, no trees, no me. And he's out forever be my soul. You could not keep. You probably don't know how to read. These books,
Call it horse and coming.
Because it's my first time hearing him, I'm not quite used to his voice, so I didn't exactly catch everything he said. But again, phenomenal singer, and I will be bumping this song. I'll be bumping all these songs way more on my own time, totally infer the meaning. I'm not one of those reactors who like aims to give you every single bar, because I'm just not capable of that. Oops, daisy. Well, maybe I am for some songs, but this guy is something else. But I do what I catch. I want to share with you, and just share with you how I generally feel about the song. But you betcha that I'll be listening to this a lot more and trying to catch everything.
Call it horse coming horsing. They must be blind as fortune to make such major offerings and get just a minor portion.
They must be blind as fortune, man. So fortune, luck, wealth, whatever fortune means to you, it's blind.
Blind as fortune to make such major offerings and get just a minor portion, then die.
And that's why it's blind. To make such major offerings and only get such a minor portion. I feel like there's so many ways you can interpret that. Like, for example, that could be a commentary on the whole music industry and distribution services and the way they underpay their artists. You know, they put so much in and they're only given a minor portion. But at the same time, it can mean so much more than that. It could be talking about everything he's put into his art and his music to create it, and everything he's given in return. But by most, maybe he feels like he's not even being listened to properly, you know, like people have such a short attention span. So he's given us all this, and people are just like, maybe they listen to a song or two and they don't even properly pay attention, and then they move on. And you know, it's to give. He's saying he gives way more than he receives, and that could even just be in his personal life, you know, maybe in his relationships, you know, maybe he, in a lot of his interactions, he's got people in his life to where he's always the one providing more, in return he gets less, but that just speaks as to what kind of person he is.
Be blind as fortune to make such major offerings and get just a minor portion, then die. One of the corpses inside a designer.
And after that, to make such major offerings and get such minor portions, oh my god, it's word twisting, and then die. So after he's done that, then die in coffins. To give everything, and what's your reward at the end of the road? Death.
Orphans and get just a minor portion, then die. One of the corpses inside a designer coffin we find on Philly's north side and Susquehanna Dolphin. Sometimes they try to soften the blow, but it's not as often as life will have you.
Sometimes they try to soften the blow, but even then, it's not as often. So sometimes they even try to make it hurt less. The blows that they're dealing, sometimes they'll try to soften it and, you know, ease it in. But that's not even that often, apparently. So what he's saying is, most of the time, he's just dealing with hard blows on a daily basis, whatever those blows may be.
Often the blow, but it's not as often as life will have you starving and suffering from heat exhaustion.
This life will have you starving and suffering from heat exhaustion. So I take that heat exhaustion as, you know, obviously there's the obvious literal, you know, when there's heat, it can exhaust you, like being in a desert or out in the sun again. When it's really hot, it's exhausting. You sweat, you get tired, you know. But at the same time, heat exhaustion. He's providing so much heat. And he is. You can't dispute that. He's providing so much heat. And yeah, it's exhausting. It's exhausting.
On the line I teeter, it's harder for me to cross it unless the universe.
The line he teeters is harder for him to cross it, and I was about to say something in relation to
me to cross it unless the universe take a hold of my hand and force it.
Unless the whole freaking universe takes the whole of his hand and forces him. So the line he teeters is hard for him to cross it. And for him to cross that line, it's going to take the whole freaking universe to force his hand across that line.
It's harder for me to cross it unless the universe take a hold of my hand and force it. The protocol is overhauled. Show me what you zoning on. How you gonna get in touch with your spirit when this phone is off?
How you gonna get in touch with your spirit when his phone is off? Now again, it's a metaphor, but that's to say that there's he's proposing the question: how are you? How am I? How are we going to get in touch with our spirit if our spirit is disconnected from us?
Touch with your spirit.
Or did he say when your phone is on? Did he ask, how are we going to get in touch with our spirit when that phone is on, you know? Because we're so, and that's a very relevant line to today. We're so lost in our phones, in our social media, in our devices. Hey, I'm a culprit of it too. I'm not trying to put myself above that, but it's just a fact that I'm stating. I've been working on it though. But yeah, we're so trapped in that. How do we have a chance to connect with our spirit? You know, when we're trapped inside that bloody device, you know? That's what I'm saying. Nature, art, going for walks, reading, just, you know, live because these things are a distraction. And yes, like, I'm here on some dimwit on uploading videos, trying to make a name for myself, trying to spread my music and whatever. And yes, at the same time, I'm contributing to the problem because, say I've got fans or whatever, I'm keeping you on your phone right now as we speak. I'm telling you, get the frick off here. Like, you don't go for a stroll and listen to my music if you really want to support me. I'm just doing this to get myself out there. But yeah, like, don't feel like you've got to stick around here or anything. Like, I'm just, you know, don't, because YouTube is a problem. It's YouTube. I might get cancelled, but YouTube is a problem, like what it does to young people, and just the addiction there, and just the video after video, and just the addictiveness of it. So just, you know, I'd rather you don't watch my reactions, honestly. Please don't watch my reactions. I'd rather you don't watch my reactions, just go for a walk, and if you still want to support me, if you like me or whatever, just listen to a song or whatever. Listen to some of my music, you know? Like, I don't want to keep you trapped in your phone. Like, live your life.
Overhaul, show me what you zoning on. How you gonna get in touch with your spirit when this phone is off? How they back you into a corner, then hold that over y'all. Then expect you to show this love that wasn't shown to y'all. Signage on the closing.
And then expect him to show this love which wasn't shown to you or shown to him. You know, he's saying there's no reciprocation there. And he's been backed into a corner.
Expect you to show this love that wasn't shown to y'all. Signage on the closing door said this ain't even home to y'all. Now I see that more and more, so sayonara, au revoir. Just get me to that pyramid, my flying saucer floated towards. I'm laser focusing on doing something on my own accord.
These trees know me, and he's out forever be my soul you could not keep.
I think I caught the first line he said. I think he said, these dreams know me. Which, again, you could be thinking about lines like that for hours. I wonder if it is Sun Little who wrote the chorus, or if Black Thought wrote it, and if Sun Little was just singing it. I don't know for sure. Because, yeah, that will happen often, to where if a rapper's got a singing feature, often the rapper will actually be the one who's written the chorus behind the scenes. But I don't know. I can't speak on that.
Forever be my soul you could not keep. You probably don't know how to read. These lips, no trees, no me. Eddie's out forever be my soul you could not keep. You probably don't.
I think he said, my soul you could not keep. So don't keep his soul. Let his soul be wild and free. I think. I'm not sure. It's difficult for me to understand. I don't know if it's the mix or anything, or maybe that this is my first time listening to him. But I'm gonna later on my own time. I'll pull up the lyrics. But for me, when I'm listening to music, I don't know about you, but I like listening without lyrics, at least for the first time, because it's like if you're constantly reading the lyrics as you're experiencing it, you're not anticipating anything. There's no surprise to it, you know. But whereas if you're just listening, you know, it's like you'll hear a bar and then it just hits you. It's like, oh, I can't believe he said that, and then you're just thinking about it. You know, it's different from just, again, being on there and being disconnected from your spirit. You know, I feel like music was made to just be, to dance, to listen to, you know, to interpret. No? We don't need everything fed to us.
You could not keep. You probably don't know how to read. These lips, they're part of me.
Those trumpets are crazy. Woo! That little piano, that. Wow. Stellar production. I feel like each beat keeps getting better. And he just never misses. He never misses. Yeah, that was the protocol. I think after this, I'm going to sprinkle in, so I received another request from one of my friends. He was actually on my album, Kid Casper, so I'm going to react to one of his songs next. And then after that, we're going to continue with Black Thought. So yeah, we're trying to hammer out this album as fast as we can. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Take care, y'all. Love you.